The Swinging Skirts LPGA Taiwan Championship, part of the race to the CME Globe.
Bravery comes in many forms, and yes, it does have a meaning in the sporting sense. It's where you back yourself, throw caution to the winds and put reward well above risk. And that seemed to be the motivation for Wei Ling Shi on Saturday at Tashi. Seemingly reveling in the intensity of being the hope of a nation instead of buckling underneath it, the 24-year-old produced some jaw-dropping saves and some moments of magic on the way to a share of the 54-hole lead. With her 20-year-old Nelly Korda, tall, athletic, of great sporting bloodlines, and now on the cusp of joining big sister and best friend Jess as a tour winner. But this story has so many potential endings. Just two back sits a trio also in search of a maiden victory. England's dynamic duo of Bronte Law and 30-year-old Jodie Hewitt-Shadoff, her biggest moment in 8 years on the circuit, well within reach. And for Megan Kang, how good would a win be in the week where she celebrated her coming of age? But then there's Co and Co. Jin Young, already anointed Rookie of the Year, already a winner this season. And Lydia, the 2015 champion, showing signs that the player who dominated the women's game just a few short years ago might just be about to reappear. The honour roll here may be short, but it is storied, with names such as Yani Singh, Suzanne Pedersen and Indy Park already having claimed the title. Who will be brave enough to chance it all in a bid to join them? Welcome to Tashi Golf and Country Club in Chinese Taipei. This is the final round of the 2018 Swinging Skirts LPGA Taiwan Championship.
We're set for a Sunday showdown at the Tashi Golf and Country Club, and quite possibly a 24th different winner on the LPGA Tour this season. Ali, our two leaders are yet to lift a trophy in Nelly Korda and Wei Ling Shi. Do they have the nerve today?
Well, you know what? They're both young, but they've both looked very composed throughout the week. I was really impressed, especially with Wei Ling Shi. She didn't hit a lot of greens, and she had the short game composure to keep herself together and to keep herself at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, she only hit 9 fairways yesterday. She coped with the crowds who are filing in this morning. It's going to be a great day.
It's going to be fun, and you know what? They're out there early, and they've already been pretty loud today. So good luck to Wei Ling Shi for trying not to know exactly where she is at every point in time.
Yes, well, Wei Ling Shi, just 24 years old. She was in the crowd back in 2011 when Yani lifted the trophy. So she'll draw on that experience and is really getting to grips with this pressure.
I think so. And you know what? She's had it from the start of the week, and I think that might help her get used to it coming into Sunday. She seemed comfortable yesterday, even though she hit a couple of loose shots. She composed herself. And you know what? Seeing her go head-to-head with Nelly, that's going to be fun today.
Well, how about Nelly Korda? I mean, that's going to be fascinating to see how she fares. Why don't we hear now from Nelly Korda? But first, Bronte Law.
Obviously, each shot that you take, you're trying to do the best that you can, so it doesn't really matter what anyone else is doing. That's out of my control, but, you know, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to push and try and make as many birdies early on as possible and, you know, hopefully can put myself, you know, in good position going into the back nine tomorrow.
I mean, there's so many girls just stacked up on the leaderboard and they're playing really great golf. So just to take it shot by shot.
Well, Nelly Korda says she is going to be nervous and excited in equal measure. Spoke to her family last night. That's got to help.
Why wouldn't you? Everyone's an athlete in that family, and they're a wealth of experience. She looked amazing on the golf course yesterday. She hit some absolute darts at the pins, and I think a fast start is going to be really crucial for her today.
Most certainly is. Well, how about that quintet of players who are just 2 shots back? Where is that threat going to come from?
Jin Young Ko.
Okay.
I think so. Well, you know what? She's won twice on the LPGA. Neither time was she coming from behind on that final round. She led going into the final day. So it's a new experience for her, but what a quality player.
She certainly is. Well, the threat could come from anywhere on this final day at the Tashi Golf and Country Club. It's going to be a fabulous Sunday in Chinese Taipei.
So many players in line for the crown today, and many of them in search of their first victory. A big welcome from Peter Donegan to this spectacular layout, the Tashi Golf and Country Club, for our final round coverage. What a day we have in front of us after the deeds of yesterday, where so many players inserted themselves into the equation. Players such as Bronte Law. There's a birdie putt at the 7th, which was proving so hard for most. She starts the day 2 back. Jin Young Ko found a spectacular way to finish. She's already a winner in Korea and Australia, and she's known for her final round charges. But Wei-Ling Shi, how brave was she? She came up with some moments of magic and some scrambling to die for. And she has the co-lead. And with her, the 20-year-old American, Nelly Korda. This was one of the hardest holes of the day, simply because of that breeze. Look at it. And yet she was able to do this and capture a share of the lead, going into what should be a sensational Sunday in Chinese Taipei. So at the end of 54 holes, this is what it looked like. Nelly and Wei-Ling by 2 from Bronte Law, Jin Young Ko. Megan Kang looking for her biggest moment in the game. Jodie Hewitt-Shadoff has been on tour now for 8 years. Lydia Ko knows all about winning, and she's one of that collection of players, only 2 back. Annie Parker's 3 back from the lead, already having won this year, so she knows that winning feeling. An enthralling battle at the top of the Rolex World Rankings has been going on for most of the year, and Sung Hyun Park has it at the moment from Area Jutanagan, who's not here this week but will be in action next week. So Yeon Yu is in 3rd spot, hasn't had the week that she was after, but look at that difference at the top. It could have been Area after last week in Shanghai, but Sung Hyun Park holding on to the world #1 ranking. Plenty of the young players are making their impression, including Georgia Hall, who's got herself up into equal 6th spot on the rankings, but it's Sung Hyun Park, the #1 player in the world on the Rolex World Rankings.
Very difficult to get it close to this whole location. Putting back up the hill. She hasn't been far away, even when she's been challenged today. Steady as she goes. You'd have to think maybe if she can get maybe 2 more, get to 11, might just put some pressure on these leaders.
Speaking of pressure, a bit of pressure for Nelly here with her 3rd at 10.
That was a pretty good shot out of air ball below her feet. She's very strong out of the rough. She's a strong player, Nelly.
Well, that's a good result after that 2nd shot. If she can make par, that'll do nicely.
Wei-Ling just deciding on which club to play here. The breeze is coming into them from the left. It's only wedge distance, 106. And she has that in her hand. Oh, she's looking around now as a big gust blows up. I'm going to have to apologise for the amount of times I'm going to make reference to the wind, but it's such a major factor out here today. Contact is good. Line is good. Shot looks pretty good as well.
No need to apologise about references to the wind, Sandy. That's the biggest factor out there right now, apart from the space between the golfers' ears. That's going to be a pretty big factor. How good does this place look? Final day of the Swinging Skirts LPGA Taiwan Championship, and we're about to see Jin Young Ko play her 3rd shot at the 10th hole, par 5.
Virtually spot on, 100 yards. Wind just drops down a little bit for her, but she's hit this left. Not one of the better ones.
There aren't a lot of makeable putts on that green. Really, pin high left is ideal, and that space is pretty empty right now. Back down the hill, 171 yards today. Wind off the right, pin on the right, makes it difficult. And it's one of the best we've seen. The first par 3 on this back 9.
At 12, Carlotta has found the bunker with her tee shot. Nipped it well and has got it to the back left corner. Pretty good recovery up and down from there. Keeps her hopes alive.
Looked like she really went after that. Most likely a 7-iron for Bronte. Oh, it just got a soft bounce. 2 yards extra, and that would have been pin high.
The experienced caddy, Dean Hurden, on her bag. Has been on the bag of Jin Young Ko in recent times. He's been on the bag of some great players over the years and a wonderful association with the great G.A. Shin. And she was at the peak of her powers. Megan is 6 back. So in all probability, too far back, but she's handled this hole really well this week. They make their way down to 11 green. These are the numbers from the first 9 holes of our feature group. And what about the putting numbers of Jin Young Ko? Quite remarkable, really, when you consider what she went through. But consistency of hitting the fairways. Wailing Shi has been holding up well there, and Nelly Korda has hit every green, and that's what you want to do on Sunday.
Just on the side of the spine, might maybe go a little more left to right. It'll slow down a lot as it gets to the hole because you're going straight into the mountain, so there's more uphill than it looks.
Phones on silent, please.
And that's why it's pulled up around 12 to 18 inches short.
Coming from the opposite side will be Nelly Korda. Now, of course, this is going to be a lot quicker than it looks, coming straight down the mountain, and the green also sloping this way, but the mountain does have a big effect on these. It is going to get to a stage, we're on the back 9, where we start talking about running out of holes.
It is. It's getting very close, Sandy. Not quite there yet, but every step she takes is getting her closer to that title, and she's got the look of a winner about her. Kate Burton, who's stepped back into the commentary box. I'm sure you'd agree, Kate. She looks so self-assured and relaxed too.
Most definitely, and wouldn't she love to join her sister, a 5-time LPGA champion herself, Jessica, as a champion today in Chinese Taipei. She's from a fine golfing family and a tennis family. Peter Korda, her father, winner of the Australian Open. Her mother represented Czechoslovakia in the Olympics. Her brother Sebastian is making great inroads as a professional tennis player. And then Jessica. But the home crowd are rooting for one player in particular, and it is this. Wailing Shi, just 24 years old.
And I'm loving her little bubbly spirit out here. She's enjoying every second. Hopefully that's helping with the nerves, because there just has to be nerves. And she's still giving them a go too, still being aggressive. She's looking very comfortable.
Well, she has to, Sandy. I mean, it's the only way she's going to deny a surging Nelly Korda. Korda is now 4 under through 10 holes. Doesn't look like she's going to put a foot wrong. Solid stats.
Just hold still, thanks.
Up the hill for Bronte Law.
Right to left, we'll straighten out at the end. A lot of players have been seeing it come back, but it just hangs out there. And Another player confused by the hole location at the par 3.
And not walking off with particularly strong body language, Jin Young Ko, and the reason for that, a double bogey 6 at the 8th put pay to her chances. She very quickly finds herself 5 off the lead as they march to the 11th hole. And even for a player,
a pretty stunning tee shot, just didn't quite get the bounce that Lydia Ko was looking for. Putting back up the hill, almost right along the seam of the changing grain from right to left.
that from Ko. She's not going to go away. She will peck away at that lead until the holes run out. 5 behind, but a birdie start on the back 9. Don't rule her out.
Big right to left slope for Megan Kang here.
At the end. All of these shots so crucial now. Look how far right Sagander is aiming on the 12th.
Did well to get it there from the fairway bunker. And really, given the unforced error off the tee, to walk away with 4 at the long par 4 would be pretty nice.
You mentioned she had a score to settle this week, Ali, after coming so close last week, only to be nigh with a double bogey late on in the stretch. Daniel Kang has tapped in, and this is the 11th hole in the par 3, straight down the slope. It's a beautiful hole, but certainly not without its challenges.
Especially today, where the whole location is. It is almost like there's a magnet pushing it away from the whole location once you hit the green. So anything on that front edge will release.
Slightly protected here. Breeze coming right to left across. You know it's there. It is a 7-iron, 4 nearly Korda. The line is excellent.
There's just nothing stopping it once it goes past about 5 yards onto that green.
And I wonder if there's anybody capable of stopping her.
The bizarre thing with that shot was the wind was right to left when she hit it, and it changed mid-flight directly behind her. That's what I think she's a bit amused about.
Well, clubbing is tough, Sandy.
First 3 rounds, first 54 holes. She made 34 greens in regulation. There's been putting that has been quite exceptional. They were out of a little bit of trouble from time to time. Breeze now picking up again, so it's quite strong right to left. It is behind them a little bit, just swirling around. Going with a 6-iron. Again, the line looks really good.
To think that she watched Yanni sing. When Yanni won here in 2011, she was just a spectator and a teenager herself. How impressive. I mean, that takes some serious moxie to go straight at the pin on 11, given what's at stake. Thriving in the environment.
Jin Young Ko as well is going to go at this with 6-iron. As a rule, in Wei Ling Shi hit very, very similar distance. Nelly is always one club less at least. This is the problem with this gusting wind. Players get settled over the ball and then all of a sudden a gust comes through. Puts that doubt in their mind, a little uncomfortable over the shot. Just dies down again and resetting. This is another very good line.
Giddy up. It's going to try to get over that first slope. And it does. Jin Young Ko has to work on her right elbow. It says a tendency on the bad shots is when it gets too far away from her body. And so that's the key to her swing this week. Her and Jeff Brighton, Scottish caddy that she met at Turnberry a couple of years ago when she very nearly won the British Open. He's back on the bag.
Her leading going into that final round. She ended up in second place.
Korda has it by 3. She's 4 under the card today. She looks unstoppable. But Wei Ling Shi has an extra club in the bag, and that is all the crowds that line in the fairways in the hope that a Chinese Taipei player can win this Sunday.
Ball slightly below the feet of Minjee Lee on 12. Has one of the best shoulder turns in the game, in my opinion.
On the tee, Lydia Ko at 12.
.76% of fairways so far this week for Lydia. That might make it 77.
Bronte Law 8 under par. Needs to make up ground very quickly. She's 5 off the pace. Yeah, I think she thought that was going to be worse than it was. Took a friendly bounce, tough hole, the 12th. Not easy even when you get closer to the green, but Minjee Lee has a birdie opportunity to move to 10 under. The Swinging Skirts Foundation continues its support of local art. And since the beginning of the tournament, the foundation has showcased many different styles of art around the golf course. Our sincere thanks to Chairman Johnson Wang for his continued support of this wonderful championship that began back in 2011. All the players enjoy coming here. First time we get to the Tashi Golf and Country Club. What a fabulous golf course. This would be a fabulous birdie for Nelly Korda.
Should be fairly quick from the back of the screen as well. Oh, okay. Left herself a little work make par.
Minjee Lee tapped in for par at the 12th, so 8-9 under par for the Australian, the world number 5. Look at these crowds, Ali. I know we've got grandstands behind the 18th, and that's going to be a good spot from which to watch the golf.
Thank goodness I'm inside the rope, so I might get a spot.
I was wondering how you were getting down to the green so quickly, sadly. You need a boat to go across these various ponds.
It is a lot of fun out here. It's just a wonderful atmosphere. Beautiful day, sun is shining. big crowds.
And a range of crowds as well. I'm noticing a number of young children in the crowds, a lot of families here.
Yes, it's a big family event. I've seen a lot of kids around, so it's a lot of fun. Now, Wailing Shi has a chance here when she's seen Nelly come from the back of the green, thinking that it was going to be extremely quick, but it wasn't as quick as we thought. See what she learned from that part. A little bit different angle, just around to the left a little further. But she's been aggressive. That one's got to go. It's really the first one I've seen her leave short of the flag.
Par the 11th every day. And it'll be another par for the world number 69. It helped her enormously yesterday, Ali, playing in front of these huge crowds, because unfamiliar territory for the Chinese Thai players. Never had this happen to her before.
Well, I think the luxury is she's not just getting used to that on Sunday. She has had it all throughout the week, so she's become more and more comfortable every day so far.
And grinded it out as well. It wasn't her best round, but it certainly didn't put her out of contention. We've seen other players falter down the stretch.
Nice. Short game certainly held up yesterday, and it was almost an advantage at some points in time.
She said in her interview yesterday she was nervous in the early part of the round, but then got used to the crowd and was thoroughly enjoying it. And I think that has kicked over in today. I think it's done her the world of good, and she seems really cool out here. Jin Young Ko, well, her first 3 rounds, she was even on the front, 7 under on the back, but she needs to start making some of those birdies if she's going to have any sort of chance.
Par for the world number 11. That birdie was a long time ago, the 6th hole. And unfortunately, she inserted that double bogey on 8.
It's going to be a very important putt now for Nelly Korda. It's a good 4 feet. She found it a little slower there than what she thought, but at this stage, she does not want to drop a shot. She seems to be very in control of what she's doing. No problem.
So the lead remains at 3 for now.
Good job.
That was a big settler for Nelly Korda. She is impressive out there today. What a ball striking display she's put on so far. Yet to miss a green in this final round.
And in these swirling conditions, that is so impressive from a 20-year-old.
Breeze is moving all over the place here. 1 minute it's left to right, then it's swirled around really behind them. Now it's come back into them. It is really difficult to read. Nelly Korda. And it is going left, down the left side. Oh, gets a very good kick. Disappears over the ridge.
Geez, that's going to be better than she thought.
Wailing Shi had the biggest smile on her face when she walked on this tee. They had a lovely little chant going for her. She's thoroughly enjoying it.
What's the chant?
I don't quite understand.
J.O. maybe.
Yeah, something like that. But if she has nerves, she is not showing it. That is down the middle. Jin Young Ko's run really stopped at that 8th where she put in the water. Still making pars, but birdies are hard to come by. With just 7 holes to play. a very good drive, high ball flight, centre of the fairway.
She's a very composed, assured golfer, Jin Young Ko, the 2018 Rolex Rookie of the Year, and that's a hard race to win. There's plenty in contention. Jump ahead now to the 12th green, where Bronte Law is once again using putter from the fringe. Settle down. Has a putting mechanism she uses after play each day just to make sure her arms and hands are moving as a pendulum.
Just didn't have the right yardage on that one for Sigunda. She's been putting together a great round today, though. 3 under still. Another 3 birdies or so wouldn't hurt. Try and get in the clubhouse first.
Put a score on the board. Long range putt at the back of 12 for Lydia Ko.
You can just see toward the end of the putt how much the grain takes effect. That one almost coming down at a right angle for Lydia then.
Babe Liu from Chinese Taipei, her second back down the slope on 18, needs to hang a right.
Look at that. Got that whole location with any pace and you might end up 3-4 feet away.
Brittany Altamari, this is her third to the 14th, the par 5, one of the most picturesque holes on the golf course. Oh, hit.
Oh, that is the kind of day Brittany Altamari is having, out in 44 on the front side and hitting the pin and not dropping on the 14th. That was tough luck there.
Ouch, a game of 2 halves, so a horrible front nine that she would like to wipe from her memory banks, but she'll remember that.
Playing alongside Lindy Duncan today, and that hole wasn't kind to Lindy either. Hit the flag, nearly had a hole in one, not to beat, but that was a tough day to swallow for Babe Liu.
Well, this will be a very good 2-putt for Bronte Law, who raced the first one by. Oh, Bronte. And she knows it. Every shot now so critical as we come to the pointy end of this Swinging Skirts LPGA Taiwan Championship. But it's Nelly Korda. Wow, what an impressive display from the 20-year-old from America. She leads by 3 over a host of players, including Wei Ling Shi and Min Ji Lee, but there's plenty of players with a lot of fight on this back 9.
Needs to be firm with this one. Just inside that right side. She's always made it look easy around the greens. And, you know, we talk about her distance off the tee. She doesn't need it. She just needs to get it up by the green somewhere, and she might be in contention, Lydia Ko.
I think she's just always made the game look easy, ever since winning as a 14-year-old bespectacled Kiwi with the glasses on when she won the New South Wales Open, and then has gone on to back up that prodigious amateur career by being the dominant player. Wow.
Got the 5 hybrid in her hand. Usually goes 180. This is 174. No, just letting this leak right. It's not going to get there.
Lydia, birdie, birdie, par, start to her back 9. Here she is on 13. Hardest hole on the golf course today, the 13th. Just the 5 birdies.
Much in part to that hole location.
Whew. It's pretty long too.
Same distance at 174. Breeze has really dropped down at the moment. Also going with the hybrid. Uphill all the way. You can't see where the ball lands on this green. Bunker obscures that. That's good contact. It's going to be on the green. We're just walking along here, and Nellie's caddy, Jason McDade, said it is the last time I have to walk up that hill with this bag.
You know what, these caddies are put through their paces, but where would we be without them? Some of the great caddies on tour. Ollie Brett, winner with Danielle Kang last week. Going to be in action next week.
You know what a distance this drive was. Just 130 front, 142 going at this hole. Tough hole with an 8-iron.
Did you say 8
What a spectacular looking one it is, right at it.
Sandy, you said 8-iron.
I said 8-iron. Yes, I know it's hard to believe.
That's power, that's impressive.
That was uphill. Okay. All right, up to 13, Bronte Law. No trouble at all with that one for the young English woman.
Tricky shot for Minjee Lee, having to chip through the shadows. Hard to get the distance and judge the distance just right, but she has done that.
It's going to be a very popular spot today, long of 13, with the pin on 30 paces, and the green really releases towards that back edge.
Once you can navigate your way around 12 and 13, really 2 of the hardest holes on the back 9. You find yourself at the 14th, and this is where the world number 22 is, Carlota Ciganda. If Nelly was to win today, there would be the third sister act for both sisters to win. The first being the Sorenstams, and Annika Sorenstam had 72 wins. Annika Sorenstam's caddy is this man, Terry McNamara, and I wonder how many of those 72 wins he was on the bag for.
I think most of them, actually. He's had more wins on bags than most players in the field combined. Long way back there on 14 today. She's not known for conservative play, Carlota. Up by the green in 2 at the par 5.
Just coming from down that hollow, letting it run all the way out. It's a nice looking shot.
Solid putt from Lee, remains 9 under. Needs to start picking up shots pronto.
Again, this is going to be a putt for Jin Young Ko that we've seen before, directly coming down the hill but also coming down the mountain. So they're quicker than you even think they are. The natural slope of the land is hard to see when you're looking over these greens.
No one's managed to get that putt past the hole yet from that side.
Well, this was just simply a spectacular 8-iron that Nelly Korda played in here. Gives herself a real opportunity to make life extremely difficult for the rest of the field. Yes, for birdie. rally, but the other players are probably thinking, still with hope.
Now they're breathing a sigh of relief. You just get the feeling that, you know, Wei-Ling Shi hitting that hybrid in, not getting close to the green. Nelly just easily hitting an 8-iron, that they're struggling to contain her.
Maybe an extra bounce or two, and that would have been perfect for Lydia Ko.
Big putt for Jin Young Ko. This must go in if she has any chance. Cannot afford to be dropping any shots now. She knew straight away.
Hopes dashed for Jin Young Ko. 6 holes remaining, and very quickly finds herself 6 back.
Pins on 30. Really only want to land this about 10 to 15 paces on. Right about there. Settle down now. Look at that release.
Best shot today, into 13. Oh, she's got some fight, that Bronte Law.
So has Wei-Ling Shi. This would be a very, very good up and down. Good 4 on this tough hole.
Is it becoming too much? Is the pressure finally starting to eat away at the 24-year-old? She was excellent yesterday. She coped with the surging crowds, managed to grind out a good number to be in contention coming into the final round.
Have to take a big rap for all this. He is keeping her positive. He's keeping her happy and talking, and she has just bombed that down the left-hand side. Looking very relaxed, Nelly Korda.
Yeah, he's a great addition. What a good team they are.
Started working together at the Bahamas. First event.
Coming off that missed short putt on the previous one. Wei-Ling Shi. Bring this right down the left-hand side. It does slope back towards the fairway, so it should get the good kick.
Jump ahead to the green where Lydia Ko has a long putt. It is for birdie, but will pick up pace.
It's not dissimilar in a lot of ways to the 11th green today, purely because if you land it on the front edge, it stops. You land it midway, it rolls through.
Jin Young Ko coming off the bogey on the previous, down the left-hand side as well, but again, it will kick back onto the fairway. It doesn't often stay up there.
was a great shot into 13 for Bronte Law. Oh, what a shame. Did all the hard work with the approach. Not an accessible hole location, 13. Given how firm the greens are, and she knows that.
It's just the putter that's been letting her down this week. Ball striking into the greens has been pretty solid for Bronte.
Saganda after a poor chip from off the green. Gave it a good wrap. But a 5 for a player with her distance. Yesterday, Amy Yang made a spectacular eagle on 14, getting home in 2. Not many players can boast that feat on a hole that's 544 yards. We thought she was going to pounce, didn't we, Ali? At the beginning of the round, those 4 birdies early on. She certainly made her presence felt, but that charge not quite eventuating.
Lydia just sticking around, isn't she, at 8 under par. She's 5 back as we speak, but maybe a couple of late birdies. Going to lunch, watch the rest unfold.
Going to be a fairly lengthy shot in here. Jin Young Ko, 163 front, but the pin's back 30.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly across, but there's a little help. And obviously with that lie as well, it's de-loft in the club, so.
Just slightly on a downhill slope. Oh, a little bit below her feet as well. Pin all the way back, bit of breeze. It's going to be hard to control this. These greens are firming up. Ball is certainly running on. Very hard to get any stop on them. It is the 5-iron. Low ball flight. Line is good. All going to depend on the bounce.
Sure.
That's okay, not bad at all. You're really only able to land this on the front of the screen and let it run out.
Yeah,
Putting for birdie. Wei Ling Shi next to go. She's at 189, so just 4 paces ahead. Breeze is really, well, it's dropped off. It's still there, but it's dropped off considerably.
Six is fine. You can see it off these trees.
You can see the caddy point up to the trees.
You want to come down just right at the front. Same swing.
A little bit protected here. This going the 6-iron again. Just needs to land it on the front because it will run. And impossible to get any stop on them. Firm green, downwind. Just leaking this a little bit more right. Oh, that went straight in too. That could be a bit ugly.
Ouch. And you look here, Sandy, there's a serious advantage to Nelly Korda when it comes to her huge power off the tee.
No, Kate, no one will ever convince me that there isn't a massive advantage to hitting the ball long. 135 to the front, 165 to the pin. Just a 9-iron for Jess Korda. Oh, it's on line too.
Right there.
Look at this.
Right there. Right there.
Sorry, and I've done it again. It is Nelly Korda, of course. I'm getting excited out here.
Well, she could well follow in her footsteps by winning on tour. It's the first green that she has missed today.
It's just on the fringe. That was a great swing. Not much behind it in there, like 5 or 6. So. When you took off, you're like, fly. And then they got like halfway there, you're like, sit.
I'm just gonna send this picture.
Yeah.
this is not easy for Wei-Ling Shi.
Very lucky here. The ball came straight down, but it did bounce out of the ball mark. Long carry here. If she gets it going too hot, which she hasn't done, she's going to pull that short. That's a nice shot.
Birdie for Minjee Lee at 14. And that was to try to reduce the deficit to 3. And Nelly Korda is putting some daylight between her and her nearest challengers. And welcome Peter Donegan back into the commentary box. And Pete, you wonder where the challenge is going to come from.
Well, the way this young lady's going about her business, Kate, she's so self-assured, it's hard to see one coming.
Electing to just a little pitch and run and look at. I mean, she's in such control. She's just in her comfort zone. You can't really see her making a mistake, even though that went over the back. It was such a beautiful shot, but just this green does not hold.
I know it's famous last words to say something like that, but she just looks so relaxed out there. Lovely shot of Nelly and Jason walking up the fairway there, just having a bit of a laugh and a bit of a chat. And that's what you want to see from someone who's in the heat of battle on Sunday afternoon. She's relishing the experience rather than being pressurised by it.
When you hear from great champions like Kari Webb and Nick Faldo, they have both said that they wish they took time to enjoy the moment more when they were right in the heat of battle. Faldo, a 6-time major champion, Kari Webb, a 7-time major champion. They go, I wish I stopped to smell the roses along the way.
Easier said than done when the moment is with you.
Jin Young Ko from long range. There's still plenty to play for, even though it hasn't gone to plan for her since the 8th. Rolex ratings, a lot of money at stake here, and this is a pretty nice putt, so there will be no problem popping that one in. But the birdies just have not come.
Looked as though they were going to, and she had a couple on the card. In fact, 3 on the card in the first 6 holes, but that 8th hole brought it all undone. Here's Lydia at the 14th. Breeze coming across the players at 14 today from their right. Might be helping just a little bit as well. Looks like the pressure's off lids a little bit.
What a good up and down this will be. It was a long range bunker shot coming up the hill. Got a good 10 or 11 feet in this one. It's for par.
She's trying. She's not going to go away without a fight. And you've got to admire that about her. Eager to impress and delight the crowds, and they are surely enjoying today's action.
And what she needs to do is to block out any thoughts of the gap that's between herself and Nelly on the leaderboard and convince herself that she is, with Minjee, the closest to the chasing pack. And it only takes 1 hole. It's not looking likely at the moment, but that's the glorious uncertainty of this wonderful game.
For sure got a flyer.
Yeah.
I'll bet you one thing at the moment. I bet Nelly is more composed than Jess is right now.
It's harder watching.
Bronte. laying it up to good position, just trickling on down to the left-hand side of the fairway, but still in good shape. As Carlotta eyes off her second at the 15th, back left corner and underneath the hole, so a birdie putt coming for the Spaniard. But really it seems as though we might be down to 3 at the moment. And the way Nelly Korda is going, she's in danger of making it a one-act affair. There's still a long way to go, though. The 20-year-old from the US leads by 4.
I have to say, it's been so enjoyable. This is our tournament leader, Nelly Korda, bombing it down this left-hand side. Just going to clear those bunkers by absolute street.
That's really good.
Yeah, she's moved that drive.
She's just, it looks in just such a good zone at the moment. Really comfortable.
I think there's about 20 yards of adrenaline in each shot now, given what's at stake.
The local hero, Wailing Shi, even found time to find a friend on the walk between the 13th green and the 14th tee. She's starting to get to a stage, though, where she's running out of holes. She's 4 back.
That breeze has sprung up again. It is behind them, coming from the right. She's put this a little further out to the right, avoiding those bunkers. But she, no, absolutely safe as a house. Good drive. Gosh, she's played well today. I thought she might have felt the pressure a lot coming out here with such crowds, but she's just really seemed to thrive on it. But Nelly Korda has just played so well today. Jin Young Ko, the last of these 3 players. The wind really blowing up again now. It's settled down for half a hole. That's the most it's settled for the day. If you're not going over the bunkers left, you need to keep this down the right centre. She has done that.
Yep. Good one. Shot.
That's a peach.
Another perfect drive.
I'm just not entirely convinced she's 100% Jin Young Ko. I've just been watching her a little bit. She's been flexing her neck a bit.
She talked about a cold that she's picked up over the last couple of days. So still playing exceptionally well, but that was bothering her last night.
I wonder whether she might have just got a kink in something as well, the way she's been flexing, but only she knows that. Lydia at 14. Check it up. If you had someone to play from 50 yards in for your life, I reckon it'd probably be her, wouldn't it?
Yeah, she could handle all those shots within 50 yards as well. Saganda for birdie at 15.
So now we've got another contender. We were talking about 3. Carlotta's just made it 4. Bronte Law is just a bit too far back to consider the win. And she gets some nice check on it as well. So good birdie putts coming for both Lydia and Bronte. Right, let's take it back over the last hour or so and see the moments that have made the leaderboard look the way it does. Nelly Korda in command, outward 9 of 33. This is the way to start the back 9. And things are already looking tough for her opposition.
Lydia Ko made the turn in 37, so not the start she was after, but bounced back well with a birdie at the 10th. And then this exceptional putt at 11.
And one of the best shots we've seen all day came at the 14th from Brittany Altamari. And it could have gone anywhere, and instead it went nowhere. Luckily for Brittany, but she still had about half an inch to knock that in for birdie, and she did. And they're gathering around the 18th. And And that is going to be something when they come up there. They were hoping that they might see a local victory. They may still see a local victory, but increasingly it's looking as though Nelly Korda is going to be the one to get her name on the trophy. Wonderful to have all the golf fans in. They love their game in this part of the world, and they've been streaming in since early this morning, creating a wonderful atmosphere here.
Bronte Law at 14.
Good birdie.
That's a very good birdie. Third one of the day, a couple of drop shots for the English player. That game is so good from tee to green. It's just on the green where you feel she just needs to harness the finesse.
Lydia's got this putt then to move to 9 under and get it level with Carlotta and Minjee and Wei Ling Shi. If something was to happen to Nelly, and we keep on saying it looks unlikely at the moment, but if something was to happen, then Lydia can win this golf tournament, no question about that. So she elevates herself up into a 4-way tie for second now.
It's from a long way out for Jin Young Ko. Now taking it down the left-hand side. Depending on the kick. No, she's going to miss that tree, so she should be okay. But around about the 300 mark from there, where she was.
Going to be interested to see what Nelly Korda does now with her second.
I can't wait to see what Nelly Korda does, because she's in range in a moment. I'll give you those figures. Wei Ling Shi, 278 front, so it's just a matter of getting it down there. Pretty good contact. She's further out towards the middle, so that's good shape. Oh, now it's 245 from the front. She's got the wood out. She's got a big tail breeze. Even if she goes a bit long, she's going to be okay. She should be able to make par from anywhere around this green, and the way she's playing, she's really had the radar on today. It's been so impressive to watch.
And pars will be enough from here on in.
It's good contact. It's a pretty good line. Oh, it's going to be up there. Come on. Not quite, but that'll do.
Yeah, it's in the perfect position. It's amazing what some of these players have in the bank when they need it. She had the option then. She could have laid up, go for the green. The other two players just don't have that distance.
I wonder what, if she makes a birdie there, I wonder what her game plan will be for the remaining holes. It'll be curious to see what she does. Minjee at the 15th. Yet another birdie chance coming for the Australian to break out of the tie for second.
Eun Hee Ji, last year's winner. She won by 6. It was an imperious display of golf, and she finishes with a 3 and a round of 71 under par to finish 2 under for the championship. And I think she's got to be pleased about that. And I saw her at the beginning of the week in the hotel. She goes, I have no idea what to expect. I'm really not playing that well. So good defence.
4 adrift of our leader. Even if she was to birdie all the way in from here, it may not be enough, and that is a hard task when you consider the holes that they've got in front of them, especially the difficulties of 16. So now it's all up to Nelly Korda to see what happens as far as who's getting the trophy and the 330,000 at the end of the day. dissecting the fairway. She's been impressive in this streak. She played at the UL International Crown. She's really come to the attention of the golfing world in the last few weeks.
Minjee Lee is running out of holes. That's 15. We'll see 3 more beyond then, but 4 back. With Nelly Korda very much in control of this tournament. She's just short of the 14th in 2, so a very likely birdie could well see her extend her lead at the top here in Chinese Taipei and secure her first win on the LPGA Tour.
Third at the par 5.
Just 97 yards, going with a 52-degree wedge. Got to get it back over that ridge, and she's going to do that well, so she'll give herself a good chance of birdie.
We're going to need to keep on going, Sandy, from here on in.
It's going to be such a tough finish for these players who are trying to chase a lot of birdies on 15, 16, 17 and 18. Jin Young Ko, 76 to get it to the back. And that is going to be all the way back. Oh, here's a good shot. Coming up a little shorter than it looked on that slope.
And that stretch you mentioned, 16, 17 and 18, 3 of the hardest 8 holes on the golf course to finish. So there's not going to be an abundance of birdies.
Very hard because of the swirling wind. Quite exposed, and it's always tricky when you're finishing with a par 3, a long one at that as well, 180 yards. Minjee. She keeps on knocking on that door of another win. Already got her first one this season. Well, of the season at the Volbeck LPGA.
We've been lucky enough to come here with the LPGA since 2011. And we're getting used to some of the spectacular sights. The other thing we're getting used to is the wonderful food and the warm welcome that is in evidence every year as we come back to Chinese Taipei. Our first visit to Tashi Golf and Country Club. Let's hope it's not our last. Is that one of the more spectacular sights you've seen in golf? This is something, this place, and it's been a terrific host venue for the 2018 renewal of this tournament. And here is the champion in waiting. Still too early to be thinking about what she might be saying, but she's on her way.
Well, if it is too early with a 4-shot lead now, if she gets this up and down from here for birdie, that is going to give her a 5-shot lead at the moment. Up on the ridge and over. So that's running by, so it's not a birdie yet.
MPG, the defending champion, has just finished her round. 6 was her margin last year. Nelly is starting to get into that territory.
There's a hole-in-one up for grabs, and every single player knows what is at stake this week on the 18th. Maserati Levante. Jenny Shin's last opportunity to have a go. Good try, and it's a benign hole location. Today situated in a gully. It's the main feature of the green.
Birdie putts here at 14. Jin Young Ko looks like to be the first to go here. And she could do with a birdie. It has been a real struggle since hole number 8, where she took the double bogey going via the water and really put the brakes on her run, which was very good at that stage, picking up 3 birdies to there.
Yeah, her last birdie, Sandy, at the 6th, and that was the 3rd of the day.
frustrating day for her. It promised so much in the early stages, and then just absolutely nothing has happened. Still in there, but be disappointed.
Goes to show the importance of one shot. We spoke about it at the time. That second shot at 8 can change a day around, just turn it on its head.
Completely. Just derails any chances you have of a shot at the title. It's always a tricky one, a second into 15. And that green is very well protected by those two front bunkers, so hard to get close. Carries on the green, but band's a long way away.
This for birdie. Oh, just not quite. Still they breathe a minor sigh of relief, but she's looking absolutely unflappable at this stage. It's hardly put a foot wrong all day.
That just emphasises the importance of the putt that's coming up at that hole in a moment. We'll go back there in a tick. Second for Bronte at 15 in a freshening wind. Part of the golf course where they feel it a bit. Distance control, just perfect. This is big.
This is very big, Pete, because she's currently in a tie with 4 others at -9. So this to take second place on her own and creep one closer. Still got some very, very tough holes to come.
Listen for the silence. The crowd getting ready to jump, to clap, to cheer on their new golfing star, Wei-Ling Shi. 4 holes remaining. Wei-Ling Shi is even par for the day. Those above her are significantly under par. There we go.
There is the action going on the putting green with Bronte Law. All of these putts meaning a whole lot in terms of placement, in terms of dollars. $330 for the winner, about $205,000 for second, in excess of $148 for third, still over $100,000 for fourth.
After the excellent approach from Ryan O'Toole, she has this very makeable birdie putt at 16 to climb to 8 under.
And 178 to get it back there. Breeze is gusting. We just felt it then. We're not feeling it now, but the wind is certainly blowing. It is the 4 hybrid for Jin Young Ko. This usually goes 180 for her, leaking to the right. It's got to go. Oh, okay, that's a real miscalculation.
Not only did the look of her scorecard, Sandy, change in an instant at 8, but her body language changed. And there's that flexing of the neck that she's been doing all throughout the day. She's not on top of things for one reason or another, and it's beginning to show. It's turning into a very long day.
Yes, clubhouse can't come soon enough, and we have that quite often, that situation with players doing the chasing. 161 for Wei-Ling Shi. Breeze into it. This is a 5-iron. Nice low ball flight, but again, this is leaking right. It just sneaks on, but it's okay.
Lydia had that same putt just a moment ago.
Nellie's got 156 yards, ball slightly above her feet. Breeze into her. This is with 7. Nice ball flight, slightly left of the flag though. Needs to sit.
Okay. Just on that left side there. Okay. Just on the left side, probably the fringe there. Yeah, I see it.
Sagander to remain at 9 under par. And once again, it's a very impressive performance by the Spaniard. 2 wins on the LPGA Tour. But she keeps on knocking on the door on this Asian swing. So close last week.
Minjee Lee generally does that too. Remember her victory at Blue Bay a couple of years ago in dramatic circumstances. She's arrived at 16. Daunting second shot. Hard to stop with the breeze direction that it is, and she had to land it where she did to get that close. That is a spectacular shot from Minjee Lee. Perfect yardage from Gilly, perfectly executed by the player. Birdie putt coming as a result. Well, this is the tee shot that Nelly Korda is about to face. This might be the only tee shot that she needs to be careful with, and there's the reason why.
And it certainly is a big factor, the tee shot, because anything that's too bold will end up in that water. 260 to fly it in there. I mean, she most probably won't go with driver. The second shot, well, that's relatively straightforward, but as you can see, it's the hardest hole on the golf course that has only yielded 6 birdies. It's all about the solid placement of your tee shot to set yourself up with the second.
Megan Kang tied 8th, even par for the day, 7 under for the championship. 6 shots adrift of our leader, but only 2 back from second. And positioning that perfectly, about 8 or 10 yards from the hazard.
Jin Young Ko coming up way short with that hybrid in here. That run, no, gets a lot of check. Ooh, she's really struggling now. You can see the body language. Just wants it done and dusted.
Driver left in the bag for Lydia Ko. That will be fine. A fair amount of distance for her with her second. As we know, not the longest player on tour.
Nearly quarter from just off the edge. And this is makeable. A little bit of a ridge to her left. It does slope. Drops away in that back left corner. Just going with the putter. Pretty straightforward little shot. So par is all she needs.
And she's not looking like deviating from that right at the moment.
Might have noticed a number of players wearing black ribbons. Nelly Korda has one on her lapel. And that is our thoughts and prayers are with all those families and victims of the tragic train derailment that happened in Chinese Taipei last weekend, and all proceeds from the ticket sales this week will go to helping the relief efforts.
Weilin Shi, the next to play here, still in there, and there is so much, as we always say, so much to play for. Okay, it looks like Nelly's in control at this point, but there's a big tie there. In second place, it would be nice to break out of that on your own. Rolex ranking points, CME money list. There's an awful lot to make you want to hold these birdies. Oh, go. Catches the edge. Now this runs away. Very aggressive. She's certainly not giving up.
She might be out of the tie for second in a moment, but it might be going the other way.
Could be.
Just a couple of signs of vulnerability, but all in all, she's been exemplary in a pressure situation, not only today, but all the way throughout the week, because the eyes of the nation have been upon it.
And she has thrived. It's been the best year for Wei Lingxi on tour. She's made over $525,000 this season alone, to be 33 on the money list.
Hold still, please.
It's actually been my first time walking the fairways with her, and it's been really good. It's been, you know, a really enjoyable day out here with these three players. Had a little bit of a roller coaster here and there, but they're very impressive. Jin Young Ko has struggled over the last 6 or 7 holes just to get this round back on track and put a red figure. That was for par, so it's another drop shot for her.
I would say if someone could call a golf cart to the back of the 15th now and just say to Jin Young, OK, we'll give you an early mark, she would take it in a heartbeat. It's just turned very, very tough now. But you've got to fight your way through these things.
It's perseverance that gets you this far, but 2 over on the back 9 for the world number 11. Looking lethargic.
Wei Lingxi now, after a little rush of blood with that first putt and letting it run down that hollow that is to the back left of this green, finds herself with a fairly lengthy putt, albeit it's uphill, which is a bit helpful. But she too doesn't want to start dropping them now. She's sitting with that group at -9. There's 4 of them sitting there in second place.
How about the gallery in the background? They are riding every shot with her. But now, I think we can safely say her challenge is over. It's been a brave one. It promised so much at the start of the day. Just watch the background rather than the ball this time.
They're sharing in her anguish. The tournament is falling in Nelly Korda's direction. 3 holes remaining, and the margin is 4.
And the next shot she plays is quite possibly the only one that could rob her her victory. The tee shot at 16, so important. She's in command. Second for Lydia at 16. And that's what can happen downwind. If you get it beyond the halfway stage of that green, everything just shoots off the back. Promised a lot for the New Zealander at the start of the day, but hasn't quite delivered.
Needs it to settle. Greens are firm. Oh, and that was clever. A little bit too clever, though. Trying to land it on the front edge. And just that fringe taking the sting out of the approach from Bronte Law.
Trophy is almost within reach of Nelly Korda, and with it the $330,000. And if she does get her hands on that trophy, she'll be a deserving winner. What a moment it will be for not only the young lady herself, but her best friend, her big sister, her mum and dad. This great sporting family. And this is the shot. This is possibly the only one that could turn her victory into jeopardy. Stay away from the hazard left. Get it on the short stuff.
We have seen plenty run down terribly close and into that hazard. Just bringing this a little further out to the right-hand side. High ball flight there, so it is not going to go too... Oh, hang on. Okay, that's very well judged. Phew.
That noise you just heard was a very big sigh of relief.
The third shot from Carlotta Siganda. Come on. Oh, needed some spin back down towards the hole. It's going to be a difficult putt for a 4.
Standing room only on the tee at 16.
Wei Ling Shi, well, she was the one that actually went in here. I was watching it the other day. It's brought this further way down the right-hand side. Looks like it's going to bounce short of the bunkers. Not falling for the same thing today.
She made the best par of the week, one of the best pars of the year here yesterday.
10 in the bush is perfect.
Ollie, why is this such a difficult tee shot?
I think the reason it's so hard is because you've added a 20-mile-per-hour down breeze, and on the tee you're just standing there and it creates indecision off on the tee shot, you know, so you're in between clubs, you take too much, you go in the water, you take too little, and you're left with a 6-iron into the hole.
And it's an incredibly difficult green.
And it's super firm as well, and even all the conditions on there are tricky.
This one is down the centre as well.
That is the voice of Ollie Brett, Danielle Kang's caddy. Winner in Shanghai last week, unfortunately having to pull out due to illness. So we didn't think we'd let Ollie just enjoy the rest of the week here. We thought we'd put him to work. Ali Whittaker, speaking of going to work, has come back into the commentary box to what, in all likelihood, Ali, is going to be a lap of honour for Nelly Korda.
To be honest with you, I didn't really leave. I just moved about 10 yards outside and kept watching. I couldn't leave my seat. It's been a stunning display of golf from a couple of people, this woman included, but this is going to be a par save for Carlotta Siganda, currently in a tie for second place. And a good effort at that. The error really off the tee, out of position in the trees.
All the way at the back of 16, Lydia's ball got its skates on and scuffled on through. So she chips back into the wind. And hardly surprisingly, puts it to within a couple of feet.
Not sure if there's a short game on the planet better than hers. It's going to be a dropped shot for Carlotta Siganda. Boy, she really lit up that front nine. It's been a little stagnant since.
Just another one of the beautiful settings around this golf course. But the players haven't had much time to take in the beauty of 16 because they're more concerned with the difficulty of it, especially today. It is the hardest hole on the golf course. In fact, it's been one of the hardest holes on the golf course all week. On Thursday, it was equal third hardest. Friday, it was the hardest. Saturday, it was the hardest. Sunday, it's the hardest again.
One of the toughest second shots, I think, of the season so far. little unlucky to not roll out more for Bronte Law. Maybe trying to force the issue a little bit there with the birdie putt as a result.
Another very good week for Ryan O'Toole. This can get her into a tie for second. Yes. Flying Ryan. She is coming home with a rush. Birdies at 10, 14, 16 and 17. She's thundering home.
Downhill, right to left. Hard to be aggressive with this putt for Megan Kang. But she read it absolutely perfectly. One of just 7 birdies on that hole today.
Speaking of tough shots, this was so tough yesterday. Straight into the teeth of the breeze, and the breeze was just getting it and smashing it down. And that's been the story of Minjie's day. Her iron play has been phenomenal.
That was gutsy. Took on the bunker.
The camera shortened the distance there that Bronte Law had. We saw with the other camera angle that she was a good 3 or 4 feet past. Any of these ones that fail to fall at this stage on a Sunday afternoon can cost you some bucks. Back down to outright 8th place now for the Englishwoman.
Important tee shot for Ryan O'Toole. Loves to pay a little draw. This is online. Given the moment, an exceptional tee shot at the last, and a chance for 3 birdies to finish.
And speaking of bucks, what she's done on the back 9 is potentially worth a whole heap of them. Lydia for a very good up and down from the back of 16. So she's in the tie at the moment with Minjie and with Ryan O'Toole, but Ryan's got that putt at the last to get herself up into 2nd place. So there's still a bit to play for. It's all about Nelly at the moment, though. The young lady from the United States has driven perfectly as she needed to at 16 and seems to be marching to victory in Chinese Taipei.
It's such a difficult shot, this. Knowing that it is not going to hold, but you've still got to get it there because it can stop in front. As well as you've got rocks. Wow, that's not a bad line. It's looking good. What's it going to do? Stop. Gee, it's hard to get us anywhere near the flag. Look at that go.
Yeah. Minjie earlier, Sandy, landed it probably about 5 yards off the front and let it trickle on up. That's the only way you can get it close.
Okay, Ollie, you can call this one.
She has a 120 front, 137, and probably wants to land it at like 125 for it to release back there. She's only getting a short iron in. It's a good shot.
Such a tough green, this one.
As good as we've seen again. Carlotta Saganda has reached the final hole. All big money shots now. Drawing it into this pin in the valley. Oh, that wasn't too far away from the Maserati Levante.
2 under for the day so far. Lydia Ko. There's room down that right-hand side. She's hugged the left, though, on 17. A couple of bunkers over that way. Might be in danger for the New Zealander. It's getting to the end of the event now, where Lydia, Ryan O'Toole, Minjee Lee, they need to start thinking about that second place maybe, and the money up for grabs in that regard.
Take that side of the fairway. The one drawback is that you can have the ball above your feet.
Not the easiest equation with the front left hole location either.
Yeah.
Hard to get to. And we're looking at it right now. Up ahead at the green. This to get to 10 under par, to get to outright second place.
No blemishes on a Sunday when the wind has been howling. That is some round from Minjee Lee. She might be joined in a moment because Ryan O'Toole has a putt for birdie coming up at the last. We'll check in on that shortly, but in the meantime, let's head back to a player who cannot get off the golf course quickly enough.
Jin Young Ko certainly is in a frame of mind that is well, very stressful for her at the moment. Just everything has gone wrong. She's lost her rhythm and just keeps dropping. And also, we've got to look at, she does keep grabbing her neck a lot, and I might try and sneak in and see if I can find out what's going on there.
Yeah, we heard at the start of the day she's got a bit of a cold, but it does appear as though something might be troubling her. But I think the thing that's troubling her the most, not a cold, not her neck, the second shot to 8.
That was the turning point of the day. It's been all downhill since then for Jin Young Ko. She hasn't made a birdie since the 6th hole.
Sadie, what this day and this week has done for Wei Ling Shi is convince her that in a pretty hot kitchen she is able to stand the heat, and that will stand her in good stead for the weeks ahead and the rest of her career.
Couldn't agree with you more. It seems like the further she's gone, the more she's thrived on it. And like I said, she admitted yesterday, going out yesterday morning, the first few holes, she's never played in front of that sort of crowd before. She was nervous, but the further the day went, the more she started to enjoy it. And today, I mean, I haven't seen any signs of nerves. She's just really, really trying hard out here, and she's been very impressive, but I think this has just done her the world of good. Now, this will be pretty slick from long range. Oh, it's a very good effort. So it'll be a par on a very, very difficult hole.
Not too many days you walk away with 16 with a 4 and be disappointed. She made an incredible 4 here yesterday, Wei Ling Shi. She's really announced herself on the world stage here in front of her home country.
Looks like Jin Young Ko will be the next to play here, and this is going to be for par. It has been a struggle. It all looks so good in the first 6 or 7 holes, and she was making a charge, and it was a dramatic stop at the 8th. A double bogey, and she has not been able to get it going since then, and has hit some very unusual shots in that as well.
Yeah, nice to hole one.
She's only hit 10 greens out of 16 today, Jin Young. It's been a spot of bother for her.
Well, the key is in the lock, and Nelly can turn it right here. Whilst we wait, let's duck ahead.
Did end up in the left sand off the tee. They're just such thick bunkers on the left-hand side. Hard to get a good strike. Sounds like she's done so. Not good enough.
Nelly tidies up for her par. 2 to go.
I was like, oh my God, I hit it too hard.
Did it wiggle right at the end?
Yeah, it was going dead center and then it drifted off right.
She's carving her own path on the LPGA.
Bronte had the line, but that's what we were talking about with that second shot. It's right into the teeth of the breeze at 17. You get it up in the air and the wind just knocks it out of the sky. Up ahead at the closing hole, Carlotta for a finishing birdie. A par then it will be for the Spaniard. Very pleasing effort to close with a 69. Will put her in a tie for 5th the way the numbers stack up right now.
A good showing today from 21st ranked player in the world, and this is a huge moment for Ryan O'Toole.
How about that finish? We were talking about the difficulty of the last stretch of holes. Ryan O'Toole has picked it up and torn it apart.
4 birdies in the last 5.
And so now Ryan O'Toole, as Carlotta gives her a hug, is now up tied second with Minjee Lee. He's our leader at 17.
Just 2 to go. Just has to find the fairway. She has driven so well today with all that length she has as well. And here's another one, centre of the fairway. Just so in control of her game.
Her consistency in her long game, Nelly, has just taken so much pressure off her on the greens all week.
How impressive has Wei Ling Shi been today? Actually, she's been impressive all week. I think she has just loved being at home. Was here in the crowd when Yanni won 2011. He's played so well. There's drive down the right-hand side, but she's going to pick up the rough. Now, that's going to make life extremely difficult.
It is indeed, and it's already difficult because she's 1 over par, so she finds herself down the tie for 5th now, so she's leaking oil a little bit on the way in. Up ahead, Lydia finds herself on the island. And you won't see that too often.
Well, the clubhouse is coming closer for Jin Young Ko, who has really struggled, especially on this back 9. She'll find the fairway here.
Not the shot you want. Four shots to the green for Lydia Ko. That's a putt for bogey.
Still a contest going on within a contest. Minjee Lee trying to break out of the tie now with Rhino Tour for second. Outright second place, 204,000. A tie for second, 176. So a lot of dollars on the line in the closing stages.
It's going to be at least one drop shot for Lydia Ko, but this would help. So a double bogey at 17. Just a showing of the strength of the finishing holes here at Tashi Golf and Country Club.
There's the winner in waiting. And part of the reason she's in waiting is Bronte Law attempting her par at the 17th. Nelly would be thinking to herself at the moment lots of things, but the first thing she'd be thinking is do what you did yesterday with your second shot at 17, and then you'll be able to smell the roses, because she knocked it stiff. Talked about having the time to smell the roses, to look at the crowd, to take it all in. When you've got a lead like she has, it seems to us who are looking on that you can do that. When you're out there and you're doing it, it can seem so different. That hurts.
Down in front of the green is Minjee Lee. There's a huge putt, a chance to get into second all on her own.
That is worth a lot of money. That is a $28,000 shot right there.
Playing with rescue in here, getting it high in the air. It's drifting right. That's a pretty good shot. I think at this stage the wind has certainly gone out of sails. Go across the other side of the fairway here with Waylene. This is an awkward lie. What's she got? What's her best option?
Her best option here is probably to try and get it as far up that left side. Or somewhere around the front bunker. The up and down's easy from the left side. The problem with just laying it up short and taking a number is you still got to contend with the wind and full shot.
Well, that was with a 7-iron, and she's doing that, getting it to the left and relying on a pitch and putt. Well done. Not a lot of options.
Ollie's got the makings of being a caddy if he can forecast shots like that. So then, 24 hours ago, she almost knocked it in the hole.
It's just 122, and even the breeze has stopped for her. That's all she's got to do. Just nice shot after nice shot.
We can just about call this one in the book now for the young lady. And of all the people watching around the world, big sister at the moment would be glued.
She's watching. It is roughly 3:28 a.m. over in Florida where Jess is right now, and you cast your minds back. Nelly was watching Jess in 2012. They were live streaming the action from the kitchen. She was sitting with her parents watching Jess win the Women's Australian Open, her first LPGA title, and now the tables have turned.
Well, we know what Lydia had for breakfast a couple of days ago because she told us all about it. We'll have to find out what Jess is going to have for breakfast. Maybe some champagne might be in order. Megan. Again, very close to being really good. But a birdie putt coming nonetheless. If she can make that, she's fourth by herself.
Be good. Stop.
Oh, that's why she locked it. Straight at it.
Nearly firing out the flagstick. Oh, the intensity of Bronte Law.
Might have been thinking about that for a moment. Bronte thinking I'd look all right in the Maserati Levante, which is sitting up behind 18. Lindy Duncan nearly got the keys the other day, about $160,000 US worth. What a prize this is. The players, I think, have been saying how fortunate they are to be playing for the opportunity of picking up this car. Nobody's been able to do it yet. We've still got a few chances. But thank you to Maserati for their support this week here in Chinese Taipei. Maybe Lydia can get it done.
Perfect lead for Wei Ling Shi here.
Just got a little bit too much on that coming up the hill. Left yourself with a very awkward downhill par putt now.
Just a few little technical difficulties. Perhaps it's the electricity in the air that's been created by all of the people who have been here today and watching this wonderful display by Nelly Korda and Wei Ling Shi. Atmosphere's been brilliant. From the moment we walked in this morning, Ali, it felt like it was a big day at the golf.
There were already so many people on site for the early rounds. They've all filtered back here to 16 green, 17 green complex and the 18th. It's been a battle out there for Jin Young Ko today. Jeff Brighton, her caddy, said a real weight was lifted off her shoulders winning the Rolex Rookie of the Year award, but she was already exhausted, he said, and I think that's shown a little bit today, just running out of steam.
Athletes have an expression for what's happened to Jin Young Ko today, in particular 400-metre athletes. They describe getting to the top bend with 100 metres to go as akin to someone dropping a piano on your shoulders. And Jin Young has looked like that a few times today. It's just all caught up with her.
Sneaking it down the hill, but it's just going to be a safe par for Nelly. Just one to play.
And let's hope she does take it all in, coming up 18. When she looks at the leaderboard and sees that she's only 2 in front, she'll be thinking, well, it's not done yet.
Yeah, they've already had a good look at the one behind 17 green, and it's up to date, so she's well aware of the situation, because last leaderboard she would have looked at, she would have been 4 ahead. Wei Ling Shi has a par putt, and she's dropped down that board a little bit, back down to -8. It's very important to these players to get top 10 finishes too, so you don't want to drop a couple of shots late in your round. Full par. Never.
You'd have to think when her head hits the pillow tonight, she'll sleep very well. She may not surface for 2 days with the demands that have been on her over the last week or so. She's handled them so well. So then the prospect of having 4 shots to play with at the final hole for Nelly Korda. And what an atmosphere there's going to be as everybody on this golf course conglomerates around this stadium hole, which measures 179 yards in length. It'll create a brilliant atmosphere. Before they can make their way there, Jin Young needs to tidy up for her par.
Best part for her, Pete, is that the last hole is a par 3.
Yep.
Not as far to go as we normally do.
So then, it is almost within reach. The $330,000 and the trophy. Nelly Korda is on her way. Bronte Law down the slope at 18, very quick. She loved the tee shot. She'll probably be pretty happy with the putt. So that putt will be for an even par round of 72, and that will keep her in a tie for 7th. That was just a moment or two ago. Now to Lydia.
Downhill, a little right to left to finish on a high note. And it's going to be a little bit of a lackluster 2 holes for Lydia, dropping those 2 on 17. Not the way that she wanted to cap off her week in Chinese Taipei. But it's been good to see her in contention. Again, she's been on a run. She hasn't finished outside the top 16 in the last 7 events now.
Big money putt for Megan Kang up the hill. A 71, though, will be good enough to get her into a tie for 4th. Only Wei Ling Shi can do something about that in the group behind. Not a bad week. 21st birthday, top 5 finish. That'll do.
Only par will be good enough for Bronte Law here. Nearly knocked out the flag on the way by. It's going to be a 3-putt bogey to finish for the 23-year-old from Stockport.
What a display. It's been from someone just 20 years of age, showing maturity beyond her years, showing talent beyond her years. Hardly surprising that she's been able to cope with it, because she comes from such brilliant sporting bloodlines. And maybe she's been able to draw on all of that, all of the things that her mum and dad have been able to tell her about sport at the top level, all of the things that her big sister, who's watching on half a world away at the moment, has been able to tell her.
Another top 10 to add to the total for Lydia Ko, her 9th of the season. And a very good showing here at Tashi Golf and Country Club. Rounded level par today, but all eyes now turn back to the tee box.
She will just be so relieved when this is gone and it is on the green, going with the 7-iron. The tail breeze has just dropped off. Just leaving this a little right. It's coming back into the flag. It should be good. You've got the good kick. Oh, that's your day, isn't it?
It's all but official now. It's one of the shortest walks to a championship finish in golf at 179 yards, but every one of those 179 yards will be taken in by that young lady. And this one too, for what she's been able to do over 4 days under the gaze of the nation. She came in here today, everybody with high hopes that she could do it on home soil, She won't get it done, but she should be proud nonetheless.
And she certainly has not let her numerous fans down. It has been such a wonderful atmosphere out here for Wei Ling Shi. Good solid contact, but we're going a little left here. Not ideal. Front bunker.
And whilst Nelly Korda will have a day that she'll never forget, this is the day that Jin Young Ko will be trying to erase from the memory bank as quickly as possible.
She'll just be relieved to get this done and dusted, get this on the green. It has been an extremely tough day. Nice hard ball flight, and it's pretty much going at the flag. This looks good.
Nearly hit it full on and had it. Anything could have happened. She holed that shot yesterday to obviously a very different hole location. But let's enjoy the walk with Nelly.
And Jess, they may look similar, but they are so different in character as well. Jess, the more gregarious, Nelly, more reserved. We joke a lot on tour that she's the coolest cat lady going around, but she has been so impressive today.
The best walk in golf.
From Taiwan.
A deserving champion, no question about that. How's that for a sight? From the moment we came here in 2011, we knew how crazy they were about this game. And they've proven it again this week and today in particular. Too many spare seats up there in those grandstands, Sandy.
It's taken me a little while to get around, Pete. This has been very challenging. Wei Ling Shi does have this bunker shot. She's fairly forward in the bunker, but she has room to work with. Possibly got to be mostly careful of the downhill slope on the back of the bunker. It does run into the green, so it could get this running a little bit. Tail breeze. To see her have a big finish.
If you were in any doubt about what they thought of her, what the gallery thought of her, and what they thought of her effort today, then that doubt has just been dispelled. They've loved everything that she's done. And that is a release of pressure. So much to like about this day, and those two young women have provided most of it.
Beautiful roll down for Jin Young Ko. So she'll finish with a par, but it's been a tough one.
And that will be a round of 73 for Jin Young. Just one shot can change everything in this game. You only need to ask her about that. The world number 11. She's had a great year. Not a great day, though.
What a wonderful moment this. There's a lot of players off the edge of this green with water bottles, so she better be prepared.
It doesn't matter. Is she going to mark? And Whaling just told her to mark the ball. That's good. She was going to tap it in, but tradition dictates it should be the champion who finishes last. And that was nice of the 24-year-old just to point that out and to leave the stage to Nelly. Nice touch.
Be a great little up and down here for Whaling Shi to finish off. Massive grandstands around this 18th, and they are absolutely packed. It's been a fabulous Sunday. Atmosphere has been incredible. This for par.
What a shame. Let it not take away from what she's been able to do this week, though. A brilliant week on home soil. But now the moment. Commanding performance from the 20-year-old. A tear from her, and no doubt one from the other side of the world as well. And now one of the best sporting families on the planet has to find room for another trophy in the cabinet. I wonder who's on the phone. I think we can probably guess. And there may not be much conversation between those two. It might just be a bit of sobbing going on at both ends. Her father won the Australian Open Tennis Championship in 1998. Her mother went to the Olympic Games in Seoul in 1988. Her big sister is a multiple winner on this tour. And now Nelly is a winner herself. And not just any winner, Ali, a deserving winner. That was a brilliant last day performance.
It was never a question of if she was going to win, it was a question of when. And I think the only person that didn't know the answer to that was Nelly. And she's got it here today. That brilliant final round, 68.
I got it all in my ear, too.
We'll give you a towel. Let her get to scoring.
Don't think she'll be too concerned. there might be a little bit of water or something else in the air. This moment was a long time coming. It was probably an hour or so that we were almost certain that she was going to be the winner. And then came the acclamation and the celebration. And caddy Jason has done a great job to keep her positive all the way through this day and all the way through the week. And just then, as the celebration happened, the smile turned to a tear. I don't think we're giving anything away to let you know that there is a tear on the other side of the world.
Just coming up to 4 a.m. where Nelly lives, and you can only guess who's on the other end of that phone.
So then, a moment she'll never forget. You always remember the first big victory, and that is what Nelly Korda has experienced today at the Swinging Skirts LPGA Taiwan Championship. She is the champion, and she is the champion by 2 shots. Australia's Minjee Lee finishes second. Ryan O'Toole of the United States is in 3rd spot. The presentation to Nelly Korda coming up in a moment. That smile is lighting up the place, as it did here. So the first of, you'd have to think, many victories in the career of this outstanding young player. And so we roll on towards the end of the year, and Minjee Lee's second place has placed her a little bit closer to Eri Jutanagan in the race to the CME Globe. 917 the difference as we head towards Japan. Ali, what a great week, what a great champion.
Absolutely. Well, it's the first step in what we have always thought would be an accoladed career, but the first little mark in the wins column for Nelly Korda.
I hope you've enjoyed it. Next week we head to Kyoto in Japan for the Toto Japan Classic. Well done to Nelly. On behalf of Kate Burton, Ali Whittaker, Sandy McKenzie and our team headed by Michael O'Dwyer and Wayne Suter, Peter Donegan wishing you farewell from the Tashi Golf and Country Club in Taiyuan and the Swinging Skirts LPGA Taiwan Championship of 2018. We'll see you next week.